The film's story begins in 1957 in Poland. We see a very scared priest. He took a girl and entered the church. There was a mark on the girl's chest. According to the priest, this child is a devil from hell. He is about to take out a dagger and kill the girl. But then the police come to stop him. Today was a lunar eclipse. The priest repeatedly said that you don't know. Don't stop me. And now as he picks up the dagger, the police have to shoot him. The priest is killed there and the child is saved. Now the story is shown 30 years later. We see the main character of the story, Mary, who is a policeman. But as a priest, he came to the old church because some women had disappeared. And for the last time, they were brought to this church. The police did not want to search the church because it would be defamatory. So to collect evidence, they sent Mary. The people of the church were completely unaware of this. After reaching the church, Mary meets the father, who is the chief here. He shows Mary the whole church, after which his belongings are searched, because the church can speak the principles. The priest tells Mary to show the room. It would be good if you did not leave the room at night, because it is strictly forbidden to roam in the church at night. Mary says, I will take care of these things. There was no electricity here, no telephone. It was a strange place where no one came and no one went out. These people were different from the rest of the world. Mary changes her clothes. And here we see that there is the same mark on her chest, as we saw at the beginning of the story on that girl's chest. This means that Mary is the same child. Then he opens his bag, in which there was a camera, a gun, some important things, and a newspaper cut piece, on which the news of the disappearance of many girls was printed. And Mary came here to investigate this case. Mary eats with everyone, but what was being given to them to eat? Mary did not understand. The food was very strange. Mary was disgusted by that food, because it looked like a strange thing like meat. But everyone else was eating it with pleasure. So Mary also has to eat it quietly. Later, when he was roaming in the hall, then he passes by a room, where he saw a woman, whose condition was very bad. Actually, according to the church, that woman is possessed by the devil. That is, the devil is inside her. And the people of the church treat such people with exorcism. This means tonight they were all going to treat that girl, in which the medic was also included. And he was seeing all this for the first time. The woman was tied to a bed in a room. A priest is also recording the video of this whole process. Now as the priest starts reading the Bible, that woman also started suffering badly. He screams. Strange sounds are coming from inside her. And the bed was also shaking. When the priest took the cross in front of her and started praying, but the cross caught fire. Seeing this, everyone gets very scared. The priest does not stop praying. And after a while, the exorcism is completed. In the meantime, we are shown the painting of Jesus, whose eyes were coming out of strange worms. Anyway, after seeing all this, Mary gets very sick. When he is in the bathroom, his glass automatically breaks, and a strange sound was coming from his room, which makes him very scared. But Mary does not believe in all this. According to her, all this is deception and nothing else. Then he went for a walk in the hall. He stops in front of a room. Actually, this was the room of prayer. Before he goes inside, the father tells him that this is the room of prayer. No one can go inside without permission. So Mary goes from there without saying anything. In the evening meal, they are given rotten meat again, which was not even properly cooked. There was also a new boy there, who was feeling disgusted by eating. He is crying. He points at the boy and sends him to that boy. And after saying something in his ear, that boy also starts eating that meat. Anyway, there was no doubt that there was something wrong with the food, because later Mary also vomits. Even one of his teeth fell off. Mary looks at him carefully. It was strange that a fly came out of that tooth. Seeing this, Mary gets very scared. In the middle of the night, he secretly went to the priest's room. There was a secret door, where there were a lot of tape recordings. These were the recordings of those people who had been exorcised so far. In addition to this, there was alcohol, music cassettes, and the wrong types of magazines were also lying there, which means that these people are just pretending to be pious. After this, Mary goes to the place where the exorcism was done on that girl. He found a syringe under the bed. That means that the girl was given drugs, or something like that. Because of this, he was doing crazy things that day. The cross that the priest used was a lighter, and there was a button there that the bed was moving, which means that whatever happened that day was just a drama. Yes, that girl was real. He was just a victim of them. This makes Mary understand that the girls disappeared. I don't know what the people here must have done to them. The next morning, everyone gathered to pray. The priest tells Mary to pray, because he had already suspected Mary, that he is not a priest. He started praying in English. The priest tells her to pray in Latin, in which Mary was stuck. That's why the rest of the people pray instead of him. In the afternoon, the same mass was to come again. After this, Mary gets hair in her food. Seeing this, he vomited. The purpose for which Mary had come here. He will have to fulfill it as soon as possible. Now he was in the priest's sight. That's why he went to her room. He burned a piece of newspaper, but he kept it with her, so that when the time comes, he can protect herself. He comes out and sees that some priests were digging graves together, because the girl had an exorcism. He is dead. Mary goes to the place at night, where the rest of the people were kept mad. Both men and women were included in them. According to the church people, they were all cursed. That's why a priest, who was a monk master, he sees Mary. He quietly comes to talk to her and says that everyone knows you have come to find support, but it is difficult to get out of here. I also tried once. The one who came here can't get out. So, if you want to stay alive, don't ask any questions and do as much as you are told. Then Mary tells him the truth, that I am not a priest. I am a policeman. 8 girls have disappeared from this village. It is said that they were sent here for exorcism. The police cannot make a direct investigation into this matter. Because of exorcism, all are deceitful. He says that the priests do this for money, so that they get money from the big convent. Later the priest says that during the exorcism, those women died of madness. But actually, what happens to them? Even I don't know. Mary promises him that I will get you out of here. After that, he again goes to the church room and checks it. He saw a big hole behind a cupboard. Mary found a tooth in the wood and an eye. Then the eye started falling on itself. Mary gets scared and throws it. But with this, he vomited, in which flies come. Mary sees something in front of her. He got scared, but the next moment he disappeared. He goes to his room. At night he goes to the church graveyard. He starts digging the grave, where that girl was buried. When Mary opens the coffin, it was empty. Mary was surprised to see this. Then someone came from behind and caught her and made her unconscious. When he came to her senses, Mary saw that he was tied to her bed, and the father was sitting there. After a while, the priest came here. He brings food for Mary in 4 different pots. After the prayer, he gives food to Mary, but he refuses. He asks her to bring food in 4 different pots. The priest doesn't listen to him, and forcefully, he gives her food. At night the father's eye was swollen, and taking advantage of this, Mary lost herself. But by then the father was also awake. There was a fight between the two, in which Mary picks up her gun and kills the father. After leaving the room, he goes to the first kitchen, so that he could know what was being fed to him. Mary opens the door, and he comes to his senses, because all the women's dead bodies were hanging there, and all that was being eaten for so many days. It was the flesh of these women. These were the same women whose disappearance was found by Mary. Then Monk also came there, and seeing all this, he also comes to his senses. Monk tells Mary to come with him. He knew the secret way. But before that, he brings her to the library, because there was something. In an old book, a girl was mentioned, that a child will be born, when the eclipse will take place. And this happens only once in 800 years. As soon as he is born, he will have to be killed, for which a dagger and prayer will be needed. But if he is not killed at the right time, then that demonic child, that human, will drink the blood of 7 sinful women. And as soon as the prayer is completed, that devil will come in his real form. Monk tells Mary that everyone here thinks that you are that devil, and for so many days, you are being fed the flesh of these 7 sinful women, so that through you, he can bring out the devil who lives in hell. Because in that book, there was also a sign of the devil, and the same sign, Mary, is on your face too. Now, after knowing everything, both think of running away. Monk knew about a tunnel under the ground, where he had tried to escape before. But Mary did not believe him. Then he shows her the signs of his stomach, which were made by beating in the crime of running away. Mary agrees with him. They both go ahead through the tunnel. But all this is the real move of the monk. On the way, two people come and start killing Mary. Then they catch him. When he comes to his senses, Mary sees that he is tied to a tree. Priest tells him that it was not a coincidence that you came here. In fact, we bribed the police. Then Mary gives this case. They say that the devil is not bad. Rather, it is human. That's why you got punished. He points to one side and says that it goes straight to hell. That's why we made our church here. We have been waiting for you for 800 years. As soon as the prayer is completed, he is their king. That devil of hell will enter your body. And then the face of this world will change. He will rule this world. That is, they were not going to kill God. Because he says, after that we will become the slaves of the devil. After a while, they bring that innocent girl and cut her throat. Because Mary had to drink her blood. They all drink her blood one by one. After that, the priest forces Mary to drink her blood. Mary did not want to die. But the police all together, they start reciting the mantra to call the devil. And even after reciting the mantra for a long time, nothing happens there. Seeing this, Mary did not laugh at them. Because Mary had believed in an old book. No one understands why this is happening. They were all disappointed. The devil says to everyone, maybe it was our misunderstanding. We will all forget soon. Because our intentions were good. But the prophet was afraid. These people might get caught because of Mary. Because the police can come here looking for her. That's why the devil kills Mary. And these people throw her body in the well. After coming from there, the priest drinks a lot of alcohol. He was disappointed. Because his hard work for so many years was ruined. Meanwhile, the cross on the wall turned upside down, which he did not see. The monk comes to the priest and puts him on a sofa. The priest says, I was going to be a slave of the devil today. But now see, I am nothing. The monk puts a pillow on the priest's face and does not kill him because the monk was angry with him. Actually, this priest had ruined their lives. And he was doing all this without thinking. After killing him, the monk lies to everyone that he died because he drank too much alcohol. After that, these people also burn the women who they had killed, so that if the police come here, they will not get any evidence. Then we see a fly coming out of the priest's body, which flies from there, goes into the well, and goes into Mary's body. And then Mary comes to life. Gradually, her body began to change into something else. It was the devil, and it was coming in its original form. Everyone was praying for rest. Then we see the body of the monk gradually began to fly in the air. And then his body completely disappears in the flies. Then a scary thing comes out of the well. And it is no one else, but it was the same devil, which people were trying to forget. It was in Mary's body. And then it came in its original form. Now the rest of the people's bodies. And they also have a terrible death. Now whatever was alive in the church started to die, and what was dead had a new life in it. Now, when it came in front of the statue of Satan, the face of the statue turned towards it. Everything outside the church was upside down. And from the sky, the same black liquid went up to the church. It was the door of hell, which was now open. And it will change the direction of hell, which will turn the whole world upside down. And now the world will be ruled by Satan. And now with his demonic powers, no one can save the world from being destroyed because he was awakened forever. And with the same scary scene, this story also ends here.